Hello, all you cool cats and kittens. Welcome back to another episode of the Shaky podcast. I'm Steve, and I'm joined again by Joe.
Hello.
And Christopher.
Hello.
And today we're going to go through some more lockdown recommendations because we're still here. We're still inside. The world is still ending. But films are still coming out, so that's good.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about another Netflix release, which is Extraction, but we'll get to that later on.
Aye.
So, how are you guys doing? You good?
Yeah, good. Doing good. How about you?
Aye, keeping busy.
Aye, good. Not bad. Just same old man. Pretty bored. But
You'll have heard me sliding my mic away from me a little bit there.
Aye.
Or mad
Not much to that.
bootleg recording set up at the moment.
Aye, it's fine. It's fine. I listen to everyone's podcast. This sounds better.
That see, to be fair, a lot of folk have said that to me, and it's like I listen to a lot of podcasts, but nothing that I would say sounds terrible. So who knows how folk are recording these things if it sounds worse than us recording it on like the mics on our phones.
A lot of the ones I've listened to, it's just like the audio ripped from like a Zoom call. But
Right, okay.
it'll be like one person sounds good and then the person they're interviewing sounds bad because they've not ripped their audio, they've ripped it from like the one source.
Aye.
So it sounds like
Okay, that makes sense.
It's like breaking up and all that because it's across the internet and stuff. But like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to
The only thing for me, I don't know about you, is like where I'm recording it, like my dinner table is like the best way to do it. And like any time I move or like touch my like joggies or whatever, like you hear it.
Yeah.
Which is a pain, but you know, I'm doing the best with what we can.
Exactly.
And boy, have I been watching movies.
You want to start? Cause
Sure. Don't mind. I went first last time, so I don't mind. But I've got 17 movies in my list.
Christ.
But we'll not be going in depth on all of them. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm also drinking tea. I'm gonna try and not slip, but there's
I'm drinking coffee.
like I gave the disclaimer last time because I'm a nerd about this stuff and it's important to me. But like you're gonna hear background noise, you're gonna hear doors open and closing. Like it's unavoidable at the moment. We're not in studios. We've not got like real mics or anything. We're doing our absolute best with what we have. So you know there's gonna be a slight drop in audio quality from what we would hope. But as we go on here, it's gonna get a hell of a lot better. So I'm gonna. Last week I haven't listened back to it because I don't mind hearing my own voice, but I don't know if I could sit through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I did realise though while I was doing that I was just rattling off loads of movies and just saying it was amazing every time because I'd been on a run, and this run came to an end the next day after we recorded that last podcast when I watched 47 Meters Down 2.
Oh God.
Uncaged.
Terrible. Absolutely awful film.
It's not great, is it?
Oh my God.
I've
It
heard
was
this
so
from
bad.
so many folk.
The first one was
absolutely
quality. I was like legitimately excited to watch it, and it was just
The first one's all like based on tension, and it's, you know, it is quite a kind of scary idea, and then you get that compared to these really bad CGI sharks that are maybe human smart. I don't know.
aye. The CGI is brutally bad. Like, and I hate like with the same way any media, games, TV, movies, music, anything. Like, no one sets out to make a bad movie. So I always have this certain amount of guilt just slating a film, but it didn't work. Like, it was just
I think
not good at all. The CGI was one of the main things. Was like the acting is your standard horror acting, people doing dumb stuff to make you tense about it because it's like frustrating because they're doing dumb stuff, and then you know bad things happening because of it, etc. Totally fine. The CGI was just grim. It looked like a college coursework project.
aye.
At points, some of it looked fine, and then some of it just descended into total just weird. Like it looked like the Mortal Kombat movie.
It's a shame when
You know,
like the like I totally get you, like not wanting to select movies and stuff like that, because obviously they're not easy to make. We don't make them, like.
Aye, too right, man.
We just
Too
watch
right. That's
them.
what I'm getting at. Like
But,
you'll
like,
catch me trying to make this.
But like when you've watched a movie that was like really good, and then they've clearly just like rushed out a sequel to like make more money instead of just making a good one, like
Yeah.
taking the time and
And
like
the sad thing is as well is that 47 Meters Down 2 actually had over double the budget of the first one, and the first one looks fantastic for a $5 million film.
That's so weird.
Yeah, you wouldn't think
That's
that
all
watching
just-
it, unfortunately, but
it's all just who's working on it that makes that stuff work, man. Like if you think about like how bad some high budget horror movies can be, and then like how good like Paranormal Activity was, and it was like 10 grand
Aye.
or something that was made with.
Yeah,
It's all
totally.
just about like the technique and all that. But that is a shame, man. Especially like I've not seen the first one, but like everyone I know talked about it dead highly.
Mhm. Yeah,
and
it's
then
it's a good movie.
The second one, like everyone seems to be the same. They said it's terrible. Like
It's a bummer as well because it's a good idea. Like it's a kind of cave diving goes wrong basically, and like
Aye.
I'm not big on water, so that premise enough to me is scary. But there wasn't even any like tension in it or anything really. I didn't think. Like I don't know about you, Chris, but
No, there wasn't.
It just sort of lost me. Like it's the same though. Like mentally, sometimes you can kind of go a wee bit during a movie and your interest lost, and it kind of that then informs your opinion. But like I like to think I'm fairly open minded, even when I'm watching something that I'm not enjoying, to try and sort of find the good bits of it. And I certainly I struggled to do that.
I did struggle. I mean, this director, I think their name's, is it Joanne Roberts or something? They're kind of quite up and down. And for
Is
my
it? Is
opinion
that
of
who that
movies,
is?
Aye,
That's who's making the new Resident Evil movie.
aye.
Oh
but
no!
They did a film which I believe we've all seen and which we all enjoyed, called The Other Side of the Door.
I've not seen that.
Oh yeah,
With what's her face from Prison Break?
Sarah Wayne
Tankeri.
Callies.
Sarah Wayne Callies.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that, but unfortunately they also did The Strangers 2, Pray at Night, which
I like that
really
movie.
did not enjoy.
I like that
I really
movie.
did not enjoy it.
I've not seen that, and I've only not seen it because folk have been so down on it. But
I like that movie.
I went
Oh,
to
yeah?
like an 11 p.m. showing of that film, and I did not enjoy it.
I thought it was cool. I liked how it was directed, but I wasn't really a huge fan of the first Strangers, so it's maybe just I don't know.
yeah, well, I got into my next one, so we're not
Yeah, go.
try and keep
Fire
the pace
through.
up here because I do have a lot of stuff to get through, and I've got stuff I want to talk a bit more in depth on. This one might be divisive. I watched Ma.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And was a big fan of it, and I know at least you, Stephen, aren't.
Nah, I wasn't.
yeah.
Nah,
maybe.
I liked it a hell of a lot. Like,
There was definitely an idea in there somewhere for me, but it just kind of fell apart. I thought as the film went on.
yeah, I just thought it was like a sort of simple idea of this woman dealing with her trauma, but then taken to like the 100,000 billionth degree, and turned into a sort of horror rather than her dealing with it in a positive way. I thought it was pretty good. Like,
I think. Well, I didn't like it, but a big issue for me was when it came out, it was marketed as something that it wasn't.
all right, well, the disclaimer here is I watched it on Now TV and didn't really know anything about it, so
Yeah.
I guess I didn't have any expectations or anything. But
I guess it was kind of marketed as like a kind of, I don't know, like a kind of revenge, almost kind of Saw-ish type thing.
right, okay.
I think anyway, like that's kind of, I basically like I went into it expecting, it was a long time ago now, but like it, I went into it expecting something that it totally wasn't, and there was parts of it I liked, and parts of it that were really good ideas, and I thought the cast was like unreal. I just thought they were like really underutilized. But I think
It was a good cast.
Yeah, like I was really excited to see Octavia Spencer play like a really scary character, but then like she kind of wasn't which I think was disappointing.
Oh, she creeped me out, man.
And then like Luke Evans, is it Luke Evans?
Yeah, and his full frontal nude crotch.
Like he's in it,
yeah.
but like he just kind of like isn't really in it. Like I don't know. I remember I went to see it with. I went to see it with like a big group, and I think we were expecting like a kind of fun horror movie, and it's like maybe just a bit more serious than, or takes itself a bit more serious than like you expect and stuff.
I thought it was creepy, man.
It might be something that's worth like a revisit, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'd encourage it because I certainly liked it a lot.
Definitely in the trailers, I think you pretty much saw all of Luke Evans' scenes from the film, and the trailers kind of made it appear that he could, possibly be a sort of saviour or a scapegoat for the kids and all that. So I do get Stephen's thing about it. Like it was a different sort of, what's the word? Sort of genre almost than what it made out to be in the film. I did enjoy the first half of it. For me, it kind of fell apart, and I thought it was a wee bit silly towards the end. But there's definitely some positives in it as well. It's not a bad film. It is somewhat enjoyable.
The bit where she has like all the kids in the basement and that, she's like paints the kid's face white and all that. Like I kind of thought that's like what the whole movie was going to be. Like I thought that bit would happen like early in the movie. And then like the rest of it would be like, it would just get progressively more messed up, and that didn't happen. But like whatever, like
aye, there was a couple of bits that were sort of funny,
yeah.
Like, and I know it was like a kind of a racial thing, but like she's like torturing all these other kids and then just like throws some paint on him.
Aye, she's like there can only be one kind of thing.
And he's like
the black kid white.
Aye, so he kind of got off quite lightly, really.
Aye.
In the grand scheme of things, in this like torture scene.
Aye.
And then see like the girl they know for school that kid's on to be asleep.
Aye.
And then they all escape, and she's just nowhere to be seen and is never referenced again. We like looked her up online to see what actually happened to her, and it's basically just like a Reddit thread of people just saying the same thing of like, where did she go? Like, and it's just like. That. And it's just like, I guess she's dead. Like,
I didn't even think about that. I like the scene where she runs the woman over in the car. That was funny.
Yeah.
That was another one that was another horror movie I went to see in the cinema where folk appeared acting up in the screen, man. So that probably kind of ruined my experience a bit as well.
Well, when you get to download all movies on video on demand, once the apocalypse is over, then you won't need to worry about that. So
I know. Once the cinemas have shut down.
Aye.
Once they're only showing A24 movies that come out every once a year, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Right, I'll get on to the next one. I'll keep trucking along here. I think all of us have seen this. I watched Haunt.
Yeah. Yes.
I liked it. It was really cool. It was creepy. For folk who haven't seen it, it's basically people go to a haunted house for Halloween, a kind of haunted attraction, and it turns out to be real, basically, and things go south pretty quickly. I thought, like a lot of effective horror, good music, well shot, atmospheric. The kind of bad guy designs were interesting and cool. I liked everything, the actual content of the movie. The only thing that brought it down for me was just, and we've off there spoke about this kind of in depth, of I don't need like a 20-minute prelude at the start of the movie explaining exactly who the bad guys are or anything like that, but the fact there was literally nothing to explain who these folk were when the designs were so cool and there was obviously a lot of work put into making them look the way they look was a bit of a bummer for me, but great movie, really enjoyed it. Yeah, that's about all I have to say on that. But
it's kind of strange because it's hard to explain. When you explain the plot, it sounds quite generic, but I kind of felt it was a bit original.
I think it was just
when you say.
Keep going. Sorry.
What are you saying? No, it was just you can explain this plot and it probably explains 20 or 30 films, but I did kind of feel, I don't know if it was the setup, the directions the movie took, because I don't want to say too much because it is something that you need to experience to fully enjoy it.
There's some really cool moments.
But no, I did enjoy it, and I'm the same as you. I don't need a backstory. I don't need an origin story, but I think this tip for me anyway, it kind of quite worked the whole mysterious nature of not knowing what was going on and sort of leaving it up to the imagination.
Aye, like I can get behind that. Just maybe the way I'm wired, I like to know. I like to know everything, but yeah, it's fair enough. It's a cool movie. You can't really go super deep into it without immediately ruining loads of the best stuff that happens in it, I guess. So
Nah. I wouldn't be surprised if it strikes me as the kind of thing where like basically like it is just a setup to get a bunch of people in a house and then kill them in different ways. I wouldn't be surprised if with like that and like the masks and stuff and like all that kind of like the special effects and the makeup, a lot of it, most of it I think was practical. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a kind of From Dusk Till Dawn kind of deal where basically they were like, we're going to make this movie and it's like a giant advertisement for like a special effects company, and then like that company goes on to do like mad stuff because like I don't know. And also like you're saying like it explains the plot of like 30 movies, but like I've watched a lot of those movies because I like haunted houses and stuff like that, and then like a lot of them are just really bad. So like any of them that are good, like this and Hell House, are like I'm there for it, man. Because like I'll just like me, I watched that Hellfest and it was terrible, but I watched it because it was about the same.
I've not watched that yet.
I quite enjoyed
watch it. Just like that, don't watch it.
Maybe Haunt's one will come back to if the listeners kind of want us to.
Yeah, we can kind of
at some point because I don't want to just like totally open up the book on that movie and ruin all the moments because like any kind of slashery, not a slasher horror, but you know what I mean, that sort of horror. It's based on those key moments, so you don't really want to ruin them.
Right. What else did you?
But
watch?
yeah, cool movie. I watched. You can tell I was off work for 5 days. And just watched like so many movies. So that's where all these movies came from. I watched 21 Bridges, starring Chadwick Boseman.
I thought that was a TV show. Is that a movie?
No, it's a movie. It came out in the cinema, like he was on Graham Norton and stuff like that, advertising it. But it's up on, I think, Amazon already, so I don't know if maybe it's run at the cinema got cut short because of COVID or something.
Probably. Yeah.
I'm a bit muddied on the timeline involved there. Maybe I'm talking total rubbish and it's just out on Amazon quickly. But, you know, whatever. It's cool. It's a cool movie. It's pretty by the numbers, action, thrillery. My note here is that it's, in the best way possible, it's probably the best straight-to-video action movie you could watch.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense at all.
No, I get what you mean.
Like, basic plot, fun action, you know, some cool moments, quite stylish and stuff like that. You know, it knows exactly what it wants to be and it nails it.
Yeah.
And basically the plot of the movie is Chadwick Boseman's a detective on Manhattan in New York City, and there's an incident in which several cops are murdered by two gunmen, and he's in charge of hunting them down basically, and he's a loose cannon.
Oh, does it play
So
that?
so he orders that all 21 bridges in Manhattan are closed in and out for the night. And he's got like 4 or 5 hours to find the guys.
Right, okay. That's cool.
It's cool. It's fun. You should watch it. It's good.
Sounds good. Might check that out.
Wee side note here, it's not a movie, but it's definitely the length of a movie. I watched The Making of the Rise of Skywalker special feature on the Blu-ray. It's now on Disney Plus, and they seem to be putting the special features with movies, so I'm guessing it's maybe on there.
Ah, cool.
It's over 2 hours, and it's really in depth and really really cool. And then I watched House's October Built, which I was really excited to watch. As an old favourite for us, I think.
Aye.
And I kind of wish I hadn't rewatched it.
It sucks.
because it has not aged well.
Hmm.
Because basically nothing happens in that movie.
Yeah, nothing happens till like the last like 20 minutes.
But like when you watch it the first time, the tension is there. So like
Aye.
you're anticipating what's gonna come, so it's exciting. Whereas when you know what's coming, it's just a bit boring.
Aye.
It's like a one-time deal almost.
It reminded me of that modern Power Rangers movie in that way.
Aye.
Of like watching that the first time, I was hooked because I was waiting for the Power Rangers stuff to happen. You know, and that it kind of drags out a bit, and then the payoff's good because you've been waiting. But then you watch it the second time, and it's like cool, and 1:20 of not a lot.
Aye. Looking around 20 of just The Breakfast Club, but not good.
So, like sort of, aye. But I remember watching that in the cinema and really liking it.
Aye.
You know, some movies don't hold up second viewing because they're not made for it. But
Aye, it's a shame.
yeah, House's October built. I will always have the memories, but
just go watch Hell House.
maybe they should have. Yeah, maybe they should have stayed as that, I guess. I've got our movie of the week, which I won't talk about yet. I watched Spencer Confidential.
I need to watch
which
this.
is a straight to Netflix number starring Mark Wahlberg and Winston Duke. It's a sort of not a buddy cop because they're not both cops, but that sort of style of movie.
Yeah.
A kind of comedy action that's legitimately funny. Mark Wahlberg's like girlfriend / wife, I can't remember. And it is Eliza. Is it Scheringer, the stand-up comedian?
I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah.
She's in it. Winston Duke's in it, and he's great. And yeah, it's good. It is. It's funny. It's got a decent enough plot. You know. Yeah, I enjoyed it. There's some good action in it and stuff. It made me wish Winston Duke was in more action because there's an action scene where he just picks up a guy and puts him through a tile wall, and it just
Class.
looked like so legit because he's so massive.
Yeah.
And I know he probably can't pick someone up and put them through a wall, but in the land of like movies, it looked like super believable.
That's cool.
It looked really cool, and he should probably be in more action movies. Yeah, that was good. Last night I watched Disturbia. Have you seen this?
No.
No, it's Shia LaBeouf.
No. Yeah, it's great, man. I didn't know anything about it. I'd never seen it. It's really, really good. I'd say it would be like a great entry level horror for someone that doesn't really watch them.
Aye.
Because it's really tense and like, it's really tense, but without much like actual visual horror.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Aye.
Alright,
Aye, I
okay.
get what you mean.
I don't want to ruin it for you then, because we can talk about this maybe next episode if you want to watch it, because like it really kept me guessing.
Is it available on the streaming or?
Pardon me. Yeah, it's on Netflix. I think it just went up on Netflix, but it's
Right.
like 13 or 14 years old.
Aye. I know it's kind of. I don't know if it's like directly, like adapted or whatever, but I know it's like based off of like kind of idea behind Rear Window, like the Alfred Hitchcock movie. It's like the same kind of guy breaks his leg, and his wife gets him a telescope, and he witnesses a murder, like with the telescope, and it's like a pure like suspense because he can't go anywhere. He's like confined to his house. And,
It's certainly along those lines,
Aye.
yeah. But like weird. I would say. Sorry, mate. There's a certain amount of unavoidable us interrupting each other because we're on a delay on the video chat.
I was finished what I was saying.
Oh no, well, I like to think that we are pretty quote unquote hardened watchers of tense movies, given that we mostly watch horror movies.
Aye.
And this had me properly like stressed a few times.
Class. That's what you
So
want.
yeah, it's good. It's really, really good. I wouldn't say, I don't know, but it probably is a horror movie, I guess.
Like a thriller.
Yeah, I'd say it's a horror.
Cool.
But
never watched it.
yeah, not a lot of like visual scares.
Yeah, just
If that
like
makes sense.
the feeling it gives you.
It's really tense. Yeah, it was really effective. My girlfriend said that she'd watched it when she was younger and really liked it and wanted to rewatch it. It came up on Netflix. I was like, yeah, no worries. And thought it would be, I don't know, maybe a bit, just a basic,
Aye.
I don't know, by the numbers thriller, but it's really, really, really good. It stands out for sure.
Cool.
Oh, good.
I liked it a hell of a lot. Last night, I'm starting to rewatch them, I watched Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. You know, what can we say that folk haven't already said, but you're lulled into just remembering how iconic a trilogy it is. So you kind of take it for granted, and then you watch them and actually fully it sinks in yet again just how amazing they are.
It's amazing how well they've aged as well.
It's outrageous how good they look, and it's like 20 years old. It's ridiculous.
It's mental that like.
And the story's fantastic. Like,
It's mental that
For
like.
me, I mean,
those movies look better than King Kong, and it came out after them.
yeah. And stuff actually happens in them.
Yeah.
Weird.
There's a plot and stuff.
no, for
Did
me,
you say,
I
Chris?
could. I mean, I won't, but I could talk about especially Fellowship of the Ring for as long as the film lasts. But for me, I don't know if it's. I mean, I did see before I seen that in the cinema. I did see the Phantom Menace, but I don't really remember seeing that in the pictures too well. So for me, the Fellowship of the Ring is the first sort of epic blockbuster that I can remember watching in the cinema and being totally amazed by it. It's also the first ever jump scare I ever witnessed with a cave troll, but that'll live
then
down
you
in the
were hooked.
memories. Aye, that was me. That was me into jump scares since then.
The jump that's probably my first jump scare, but the one I'm thinking about is when Bilbo tries to take the ring off of Frodo. He turns off
Aye.
Gollum. I remember getting a fright, man. Bad time.
It does such a tremendous job of world building very quickly as well that movies still can't figure out.
I think part of it's just like they just
Do you know,
chuck
do you know
you
what
in.
I mean?
They're just like, right, here's the world.
Aye.
You deal with it. Like,
Aye.
I think
But and it's an example of a movie that's 3 hours, but it's 3 hours because it needs to be. We decided we were gonna have a kind of movie night last night, and my girlfriend, being a good sport, was willing to watch Lord of the Rings, and she's seen bits of all of them but never actually seen them, and I have this compulsive thing where I have to check how far into a movie I am, like all the time. I don't know why, I've always done it. And I was like, alright, I'll check how far into it we are, and we kind of guessed how long into it we are, and we guessed like half an hour or whatever, and it was like an hour 20. So,
class.
you know, it goes for the start, and it's 3 hours because it has to be to fit everything in.
Aye.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But I'm gonna be rewatching them because I've seen the first one. So we had the first one in VHS back in the day, and apart from that, I've never owned them. Well, I own them on Blu-ray now, but and I watched them when I got them on Blu-ray. But apart from that, I've maybe seen 2 and 3, maybe 2 or 3 times each, if you get me. And I've seen the first one like 20 times, so I'm excited to watch them and, you know,
I've not seen them.
properly dive into them again.
I've not seen them since they were in the cinema. Since
Wow.
I was a wee boy, but I would be interested in watching the extended ones, but I've just never like made the time to do it because they're dead long.
You know, I actually like the theatrical ones a bit more.
Aye.
Just like that they're a bit tighter. I don't want more. Like I thought they were amazing when they came out. I guess.
I guess like if
You know, maybe I'm boring.
I guess like the stuff that didn't make the cut for a reason, like in the first place. If it had deserved to have stayed in the theatrical cut, it would have stayed in it. That's kind of how I feel about that stuff. But it would be it'd be interesting basically just to be like, I sat down and watched like 4 4-hour movies, which is like madness.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll touch base with these again.
Cool.
And we should totally play through those old PS2 games. At some point once we can be around each other again.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be fun.
Cool. I'm just about done. I've just got 6 more movies left. So I watched every single Resident Evil movie.
Yes.
All of them, not the animated ones, but I tried to buy them and it's really, really, really expensive, so I didn't. I think you can rent them on Prime for like £2 or whatever, like a lot of movies, but actually buying them is really, really
I
expensive.
think
So I didn't.
one or two of them are on Now TV, and I think one's on Netflix.
Right, okay, I'll go hunting then. So I'd seen 1 and 2 of these loads of times. I'd seen a bunch of 3 but never finished it, I think, and then that was it. That was where I stopped watching them when they were coming out. 1 and 2 are me and Ross used to watch them, man, like all the time. I don't know if he had them or I had them or whatever, but like super nostalgic about them. Great fun movies. Like, don't get on your high horse. It's a game about it's a movie about a weird video game. They nail it, I think. You know, I don't think you could really make a straight movie about those first 2 games. So I think they did a pretty damn good job. So I went back and watched all of them. I've got some bullet points. The third one sucks. I'm sorry. I know you disagree, Chris.
Yeah,
but
I like it a lot.
I'll buzz through these first, right? Because
Right.
I know why we disagree as well. I've thought all of this out. The third one, basically not a lot happens in it. It's really boring. But the bit where the crows attack freaked me out. That was pretty cool. 4's really good, just legit, really good, like not guilty pleasure, just a fun, good action movie. 5's the same. 5 is what I've written here in my notes is a quote game movie. To the point that like there's a bit where, and maybe I'm naive, right, but I think these bits have been put in on purpose as a wee nod, right? Of like she gets like a cop car and like puts the window in and opens the glove box looking for like supplies. And she pulls out a fully loaded Desert Eagle and ammunition. But like seeing the games, like that's you like break open a box and it's got a rocket launcher in it. Like they're not realistic games.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe I'm just reading into it too much. And you know, drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak, and I'm absolutely guilty of that, and that will totally become my theme on all these podcasts, is sometimes I do a deep dive on stuff and just drink the Kool-Aid so much, and like, just ignore the bad bits, but honestly, I had such a good time watching these movies. 5 basically just as a video game, and then 6 is actually like a really good, quite heartfelt conclusion to a mad sci-fi series of movies about clones and zombies, to be honest.
Class.
Do you want to start at the first one, Chris, and we'll do a wee breakdown here, and then I'll be done.
Yeah, cool, because I actually watched the first one a couple of weeks ago because I hadn't seen it in
Oh, did you?
maybe 5-6 years, but I've seen the rest of them a dozen times.
Yeah.
First one's pretty scary, I thought.
It's good, eh?
It's like I've played 20 minutes of the games here and there. I never owned them or anything like that, so I don't know what references there are or aren't, but I mean, it's got a good bit of action in it. I thought it was quite claustrophobic.
Yeah. Well, see what they went for is they've got references to the first 2 games in the first movie, right? From what I could see, I'm actually currently playing the third one, so I've never played that one. But I'm working on it, so there might be references to that as well. But in the first movie, there's some pretty on the nose references to 1 and 2. They're just in a different environment. Because see, the thing is, folk get caught up on, they're like, oh well, they're doing they didn't put like the mansion in the first movie, and that's what the first game's in. Not like the first movie takes place in the mansion, but you end up in like tunnels underground and like laboratories and sewers and all this. Like it's not just in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually end up in the house at the end if you actually watch the movie. And they call her, so Alice's husband, I think, at the end that you see, that becomes Nemesis.
Uh-huh.
His second name's Spencer, and he lives in the mansion, and it's the Spencer mansion in the games.
Right.
So it's like a wee reference for you there. But like they implant like moments from the games into it, like the bit with the dog cages and the dogs get out, like that's from the second game, but it happens in like the dog unit bit of the police station in Raccoon City rather than in the hive. But yeah, there's plenty of references to the games in there and different enemy types and stuff. Like there's enough in there for me as a fan of the games to appreciate it.
That's cool. Like it's folk I've not seen them, but like I have seen plenty of folk shit on those games, in those movies. Sorry, and but the thing is like,
Yeah.
how many bad film movies have you seen? Like movies, video game adaptation movies. Is there? There's millions of them that are like rotten, but this one has like 6
Aye.
sequels or something. Like
It's fun.
If they
They're
were-
fun
if they were
movies.
that-
Like, they don't need to be
if
masterpieces.
they were, but like if they were
What?
truly, truly, truly bad, there wouldn't be like 7 of them or whatever. Like there wouldn't, like there just
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah,
be.
they make money.
Yeah, like there's obviously an appeal
Yeah,
there.
and the last one made the most money.
It's cool, like-
What was I going to say there? I kind of like, it's almost like it is quite video gamey, but it's quite funny that from the second one to almost the last one, they pretty much undo the end of the previous film in the first 5 minutes of the first film.
Yeah, they're guilty
So
of
it's
that.
like the start of the third film, when the second film ends, it's like, right, we've contained the infection. And then the third film starts with, oh, by the way, the world's run over with zombies. Then at the
Aye.
end of the third one, it's like, right, I've got 100 clones to help me. And then the first 5 minutes of the fourth one, they all die and stuff like this.
Aye.
Like
I'm gonna get to this. I'm working chronologically here.
the end of the fifth one, when it's going to be like the biggest battle of all time.
I'm
at the White House.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it chronologically here. Play ball. Hold on, I've got bullet points. Right. So the first one, super good, and it actually means more now because of what happens in the sequels. The second one basically picks up straight where it left off. It's like them until like 5. It's probably the most game-esque one, I would say, because it's got Nemesis in it. It's in Raccoon City. You know, there's a lot of game references and stuff in it, and that's maybe the best one, I would say.
That the one where she drives
The second one?
motorbike into the church.
Yeah, and then there's a
Yeah,
backflip
I've
off
seen
it.
that bit.
Aye. But like, it's got Jill Valentine in it and stuff like that. It's got references to the third game in it. It's good. I like it a lot.
And then the third one, which I like the best, I think if you're saying you've worked out why, I'm going to think it's because the third one, I like it. It's a bit more, the action sequences are a bit more separated, and for me, they're a bit more sort of influential in the story. And I
It's
just,
the-
all in all, I like the sort of deserty world that they go for. I like the sort of outfits they go for, because every film's almost got a sort of a different sort of subgenre almost. Like 3 and 4 are a wee bit sort of cowboyish. Then 5's definitely sort of almost sort of Matrix style type futuristic. 6 I just wasn't a fan of. I thought it was a bit of a mess, to be honest. I didn't think there was enough going on, even though there was like too much going on at the same time for me.
Yeah. So 3, right, here's my theory, right, with 3, is that I came to these movies as a diehard fan of the games, and 3 is the least game-esque one out of all of them.
Right.
It is the most movie-ass movie
Right,
out
okay.
of all of them, right? So see on the top of the scale is the game-ass movies that 5 is the top of by like a country mile, to the point it literally has load screens, but we'll get to that. Like, whereas 3 like they talk in that is weird.
See, I liked it. I did. I liked the characters for 3 as well. Like the kind of wee kind of bunch
Aye,
that
they
they've
definitely
got.
introduce
surviving.
people.
I enjoyed that. 5 I did enjoy, but at the same time I didn't, because it was just almost like a montage of action scenes, like taken out of separate films. It was really enjoyable. I actually went to see that one in 3D. That was one of the only 3D films I went and see. But-
We'll get to that as well here. So 3's, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's just by far my least favourite. But it's also turns out to be important because it sets up stuff. But yeah, it introduces some characters. It is what it is. 4's amazing.
4 is good.
4 is where I thought they turned the corner and I enjoyed the whole rest of the series. So I watched the first 2 and had this nice nostalgia trip, and I watched the third one and it felt like a bit of a chore, to be honest. And then 4, I was like, oh, this is like fantastic. Like you text me saying it was like your guilty pleasure movies, and I text back like, there's nothing guilty about this. Like, it's just really good. Like, 4's really good. And Michael Scofield breaks him out of prison. Obviously.
It kind of sounds like you're explaining the Fast and Furious movies.
I literally was just thinking that as I explained myself. But, so one of the downsides, I guess, for me, for the fourth one, is just the casting of Chris Redfield. I love Wentworth Miller, he's a great actor, I love Prison Break, and by all accounts it seems like a really nice man as well. But, like, it should be like Batista playing Chris Redfield. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's this like big jacked,
Aye.
like muscle man.
Aye. It should be like a...
And it's just like Wentworth Miller running about in a onesie.
class.
Do you know what I mean? It's like so weird.
It is...
But again, that fourth one's where they start pouring in the game references again. So it took like a huge jump up. So they've got the executioner from the fifth game. Like it's one of the, not a boss in the game, but like one of the like more like
baddies.
Heavy enemies. They've got the kind of a mouth within a mouth zombie design, where like a kind of mouth comes out their face. And stuff like that, and they start adding in some. That's quite. There's like different bits of 4 that are quite influenced by the fifth game. So I'm guessing they came out about the same
similar,
time.
They
yeah.
did. Even like the kind of deserty look on that. Like obviously the fifth one's set in.
No, the desert's the third one.
Weird. Ripped off.
So the fifth movie is where I like. Maybe looking at it objectively might not be the best of them, but might be my favourite. Because it's literally like she's stuck in an umbrella complex that they use to simulate T-virus outbreaks to sell weapons to different countries, right? So she's quite literally going between levels.
Aye.
Like there's the suburbia simulation, and then like the New York City Times Square simulation or whatever, and then like Tokyo, and I think like Berlin or something like that, and then like I think it's Wesker is controlling the complex, and he's like, please load the Las Plagas zombies who are like the bad guys for 4 and 5, and then they show up and stuff, and it's like so weird but so fun.
It's mental.
It's great. You should watch it. Like you could totally watch that one without watching the other ones and just think it's this weird, crazy thing. There's more enemy types from the games, and stuff like that. It's super fun. Leon Kennedy's in it for like a grand total of about 5 minutes. Doesn't really do much, and then he's not in the sequel. Some guy, I don't know.
That strikes me as a kind of like, remember the guy that they cast as Gambit in X-Men Origins?
Yeah, John Carter.
Aye.
Aye.
Like it seems like he's the kind of person they'd be like, he's Leon Kennedy, and then he shows up for like 5 seconds and it's like pish.
No, like it wasn't pish. He just didn't really have like he had a key part in the plot, but just like he himself did not get much screen
Did he have the
time.
right hair?
Yes.
That's what he did.
Yeah, to like to the detriment of that guy. To be fair,
But I thought
because he looks ridiculous, but like he totally has the hair.
And then, I've not played much of the games, but I thought the guy that played Leon was like 20 years older than what Leon was meant to maybe be, unless that was just old graphics. But
nah, like he's.
It's just anime.
I get what you mean, but like he looked enough like him. Ada Wong's in it, and she's great. They did right by her. Where for some reason in all the games she's wearing a red dress at all times and like doing backflips and kicking zombies in the face. She does that in the movies, which is really good. And then what Chris was getting at earlier was it ends, right? I'm guessing no one cares if I'd put in some Resident Evil movie saga spoilers here, right? The end shot of this movie, right, is like Alice, Leon, Ada Wong, Wesker, and maybe like 2 other people on the fucking roof. Sorry, I swore. We're not meant to swear. Damn it. That's at 46 minutes.
I've
They're
already
on the
swore
roof.
twice, so...
Oh, that's fine. They're on the roof of the White House, right? And like the gates round the White House grounds are just all you can see zombies, and they're like, "This is the last stand for humanity. This is it," right? And then the last movie is called Resident Evil: The Last Chapter, and it picks up after that battle, and everyone's
God.
dead.
It's just Alice and like 2 zombies left, and that's it.
Oh, that sucks.
But the actual last movie, I thought was really good. Like,
I didn't like it.
I loved how it ended up. I don't want to ruin it. I thought it was actually quite sweet.
Look, it's a very, very fun franchise. I mean, go watch it. You'll enjoy yourself. Like, don't think too seriously into it. Just sit back and enjoy some good action. A couple of good scares in the first 2, at least.
Some questionably good action.
It's fun. It's good fun.
You're certainly never going to be bored.
Fair enough. I've literally only seen one of the animated ones, and that's it.
But I had such a good time watching them and rewatching them, so like I'd recommend it for sure. And I got the last movie on Blu-ray off Amazon for £2. So
That's a heavy CEX purchase,
there
man.
you go.
I think that
Yeah, I don't know. It was sealed. Like
That's so weird.
like it was a new copy of the 2-disc Blu-ray edition with all the special features and all that. I think it must have been like off the back of a truck.
And now
or
they're
something.
making a new. Is it a show or a movie?
They're doing
think it's
both,
both,
but
aye.
made by different people.
Cool. So a Netflix show and then like a movie.
So Netflix is making a show that like may or may not happen now because of coronavirus. Ironic. And then there's a movie getting made that actually news came out of casting like this week.
Oh,
so.
cool. And there was originally, before all these ones, George Romero was meant to make a Resident Evil movie. It never happened.
Was he? I
And
didn't know
the
that.
script is you can get the script out there, but I think it's like a podcast or something like that. Like organised a table read of it recently. So I don't know where that is, but like if you can find it out there, I bet that's super interesting. I think it was set in mostly set in the mansion.
Right, I had no idea this existed. I'm gonna write that in my hand
or on the paper that's in front of you.
so that I remember. No, because I'll close this and forget about it until 20 minutes before the next podcast. So, I've got a couple before I shut up for a bit because I've been talking for like 45 minutes. But I've got a couple of non-movie media things that I've watched, listened to, read, etc. that I've really, really liked that I just want to give shout outs because they're helping me through the quarantine. Last night, after 585 pages, and I know to some people are probably like, "Nay bother, mate, read that in a day." I'm not a big reader. So it was a big undertaking for me. I finished Nitro. The subtitle, I think, is The Unbelievable Rise and Inevitable Fall of Ted Turner's WCW.
Quality.
Which is about World Championship Wrestling in the kind of 70s, 80s and 90s. And what happened to it. And like, I don't know, I know you kind of came to the wrestling a bit later in life, Stephen, but like for me as a kid, like we had WCW on Channel 5 on a Friday, I want to say, for an hour. And it was like a seminal part of the week, and like I loved it, watching like Goldberg and Sting and all those guys, and like still go back and watch some of it sometimes. So reading the book was insane.
Yeah.
It's a heavy read though. Like there's some chapters that are just about like financial reports and stuff, so it goes a bit like for me just wanting to read about my childhood. Basically, it like maybe went a bit too deep.
Aye.
But can't fault it. It was really, really good. I finished The Mandalorian. I know it's over here at least. It's just finished, so it's pretty
fresh.
I wouldn't want to ruin it.
Watched the
but
first
super cool.
Still.
You should get on
Yeah,
that,
you
man.
should.
It's really, really cool.
I'm
I know, like,
I'm sure once I've
sorry.
played a lot more of Jedi Fallen Order, I'll want to watch like all of it.
Aye. And like if you're like me, you get fatigue from folk telling you to watch
I
something.
do, definitely.
Like everybody tells you to watch something, you're just like, I need and like you don't. But then you watch it and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. Why didn't I watch this sooner? You'll be like that. It's killer, man. It's so good. What was the other thing? I forget.
Okay.
So there we go. Cool. And then I've got our movie of the week, but
Yeah, we'll
obviously
take that.
wait till we're...
Right.
Oh, Jesus. You need to stop getting me to go first. I just talk so
just
much.
want to say, my dog's barking, so it might pick up on the mic. I think the windows are getting washed, and he does not like the window cleaners. So, if you can hear dog barking, I'm sorry. Chris, you want to go next? What you've been watching, bro?
Yeah, I don't have 17 movies to talk about, so but I've got a few that I really enjoyed. First one, I'm just going to say this one first. I did watch it quite a wee while ago, but I think it might be the only one that's my streaming recommendation that you can stream without renting type thing, which was, like we mentioned earlier, George Romero's The Crazies reboot, which I think he might have still have wrote or directed, one or the other.
I remember that coming out.
When that came out, I bought the original, thinking it must be one of these classic ones, but I didn't know it was kind of renowned as the one that maybe wasn't one of his classics when he made it.
I think he's got a few that are a bit questionable.
Yeah, the original's quite. It's a really good concept. Sort of these people in hazmat suits locking down a town again, another lockdown pandemic. But it's very dull and it's very boring. But the reboot kind of changes that, and it's quite freaky because it's not really kind of zombies. It's just people are still themselves, but they're just a bit crazy, pardon the pun. And it's got the whole idea of a family trying to get out. Right.
Talking, Chris.
It's got the whole idea of a family trying to escape. It's got the mother is possibly infected, and if so, what do we do? Do we carry on with or without her? Type thing. It does make you question throughout the film. Do you want these people to escape if they might actually be carrying the virus?
Yeah, I can picture the front cover of it, but I don't think I've
I know it's on
watched
Amazon, but it's really good and it's exciting and it's quite jumpy. It's got good sort of effects in it. I really enjoyed it because people have got that. We spoke about this a lot last week. People have got these thing about reboots or remakes, and they're not a good thing. They're not a bad thing. Blah blah blah. But you need to take each film as it is, and that's definitely one to keep your eye out for, especially when it's there on Amazon Prime waiting to watch. It is enjoyable. It's fun. It's a wee bit scary, but it's not too scary. And it's a bit of a different take on zombies because it's not, like I said, not zombies. It's, they talk in it. They don't look sort of scary, but they're just mental, chasing you with pitchforks and all that.
Yeah.
Have any of you seen it?
I haven't.
No, I've not. No.
I know. I think Ross talks of it quite highly. I think he likes it. But I have heard good things about it. Yeah, I've not seen it though. I need to check it out.
It is, and it looks really good as well because I think it came out in maybe 2005, 2006, but it's still holding up. Yeah, that's my kind of streaming lockdown. I ended up watching a film called The Host.
Mm-hmm,
It's quite a funny story why I started watching The Host.
Please tell.
Because I've got this list of 39 DVDs and Blu-rays that I've set on my shelves that have not been opened, so I'm trying to go through them. The Host is a South Korean creature feature monster movie.
Yep.
It's done by Bong Joon-ho, who done Parasite and Snowpiercer. I don't know if you've seen that with Chris Evans.
Snowpiercer's
It's
amazing.
absolutely brilliant.
Obviously, Parasite won Best Picture at the Oscars this year.
Yeah, and this film is definitely up there with, the monster is a bit cheap looking, but it's bizarre because the rest of the film is so well made. It's ridiculous. I mean, the cinematography of the film is just brilliant. Some of the shots, I mean, it still obviously goes to a lot of effort. They obviously didn't have a lot of money to make this CGI monster, but when it's sort of jumping in and out of the water, the water splashes are real practical
it looks
effects.
really cool. Yeah.
You've seen this, haven't you?
Not for a very, very long time, but it was one that was on Film 4 quite a lot when I was younger, and I remember watching it with my dad, so I have seen it, but
is it in English?
Subtitled.
But it kind of starts off with this lab that need to get rid of these chemicals, so they just decide to pour them down the sink. So it kind of leads to this sort of fish monster, or maybe sort of amphibian monster sort of being created, and he's sort of jumping up in public and taking folk back to its lair type thing, and it's about this family trying to get their daughter/sister and a kind of small child back.
Cool.
And to cover it up, the sort of government are saying that there's a virus going on and nobody's allowed to enter this area type thing, but at the same time people are trying to release what's really going on. But it's ridiculously well made, considering it's got that sort of cheap looking monster in it. I mean, the actual sort of way the film's made looks so good. It's
Awesome,
definitely
man.
one to check out, and I know people can be.
Where can I watch this?
You'll probably need to buy it. I
I've
think
actually
you can rent it off Amazon for like a couple of £.
Aye.
Yeah.
It might be somewhere. I think I remember seeing it, so have a check. But it's cool, man. Aye.
It is. I mean, it's definitely up there for me. And we watch a lot of creature feature monster movies, but it's up there for me. I enjoyed it. The next film I watched was Knives Out. Have you
Yes.
seen that yet?
I've seen it.
I haven't seen it yet, and it's like one of my big regrets this year is I haven't seen it yet, and I really, really want to. There's like a stack of Blu-rays I'm gonna buy that I'm just sort of waiting. Like, I might as well just wait till they go on sale
Yeah.
because I've not bought them yet. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get that. I want to get Joker. I want to get that Ford versus Ferrari, whatever it was called here. But just like, there's no point in me going out and splashing 15 quid a pop on them when I didn't buy them at release. So,
Yeah.
you know, being patient.
No, you're right. Knives Out's great. It's basically about a kind of big rich family who the grandfather's known for writing these crime thrillers and has created this sort of mystery book empire. And at a family party, he's found dead in his sort of bedroom, and it's a whodunit, basically. They bring in Daniel Craig, who's a personal investigator, and he's kind of very sort of quirky. It's definitely,
He's class.
there's
man.
definitely throwbacks to the sort of early detective TV shows of like Pink Panther, Inspector Poirot, Columbo type thing. You know,
Aye, he's got
he's
that,
got like he's got a
Cajun
French
accent.
surname.
He's like a Cajun accent, man. He like says stuff like "I do declare" and stuff like that, man. It's
Aye.
class.
They make him quite a quirky character, but it works. You know, it's a comedy as well as a sort of thriller, but it's a great story. I mean, I didn't see the sort of twist at the end coming. You know, it's a great cast as well. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis, Chris Evans. What's her face?
Anna de Armas.
Aye, she's really good in it. She's been appearing in kind of wee films here and there. But
Aye, she's getting kind of more well known.
I looked her up on IMDb. She's got a relatively big film coming out, I think, that's probably postponed because of this. I don't know.
It's even got cast members that aren't really like good cast members that aren't really that like. They're not like used that much because there's so many of them. There's
Aye.
the kid from It is in it that played like the main kid from It.
Right.
It's
Okay, yeah.
the girl from 13 Reasons Why, she's in it.
Yeah, Catherine Langford, Michael Shannon.
Oh, aye, Michael Shannon.
And oh god, the mum from Hereditary. That's name's escaping me currently.
Alright, yeah.
It's really good. It's hard to talk about, man, because you don't want to spoil it. I had it
No,
spoiled.
but
Yeah, I'll get on that like as soon as it's like reduced
I had
anyway.
it
I'll
spoiled
get
for me,
Mate.
unfortunately, going into the cinema to see it.
yeah, that would have been a bit of a killer.
Shout out to bloodydisgusting.com for spoiling the movie for me. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I'd say at the end of the day, you know, it is Rian Johnson. Every film he makes, you know, the cinematography, it's fantastic. There's just that he's got this weird thing where if you can pause any of his films at one time, the still frame just looks amazing. So
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of his. It's a shame he's not doing the Star Wars sequel trilogy anymore, but
It's the sequel.
well, it is what it is.
Aye. He's always kind of like he did Looper, didn't he? That was like his kind of
Yeah, I
big
really
kind of
enjoyed that.
break, man. That's a good movie as well. It's the same. It looks amazing. But it was cool and it's getting a sequel, so not Looper, Knives Out is getting a sequel.
Yeah.
So that's cool, man. Yeah.
It's
Awesome.
definitely, I think it's one of Daniel Craig's best roles. I mean, it's something that you really didn't expect him to do, playing sort of
He's good, man.
Southern American
See when he's not doing
detective.
super serious roles, he's good, man. Like Lucky Logan. It's not a movie that I particularly thought was amazing, but he's really good in it. I like. I think folk just aren't used to him doing anything apart from being James Bond, because he's been James Bond for so long.
Aye.
So I think like once that eventually ends and he can basically do whatever he wants, the stuff that he does is going to be like totally as far away from that as possible.
Yeah, he's damn good as James Bond, to be fair. I can't wait for the new one.
Aye. I mean, some say
yeah,
he's done it for so long.
I know, definitely. I've just got one more movie that I watched this week that I'll talk about. That was Frozen, and it wasn't Disney's Frozen.
Oh,
It
no.
was the 2010. I suppose it is a horror, but it's not like ghouls or demons or anything like that. It's about three people, one of them being Sean Ashmore. Quite ironic that he was Iceman in X-Men, but anyway, gets stuck up a ski lift going up for a late night ski, and it gets turned off, and they think, well, we'll just wait till the morning, but then they remember it's Sunday night and the ski resort won't open till Friday the next week, so they need to find a way to get out before they freeze to death. It's very, very sort of gory.
That sounds
It was
horrendous.
done by Adam Green, which explains the Kane Hodder cameo in it, because he done Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
Right.
I don't know
Right,
what
okay.
else he's really done, but
Is it him
yeah,
that
you know,
did?
it involves
Is it him that did Hatchet? The Hatchet movies?
is that Adam Marcus?
I don't know.
I don't know. No, it's visually it's quite disturbing. You know, there's a lot of
Sorry, two seconds. My buzzer's going in the flat. I'm in alone. One of the production side effects here, 2 seconds.
Right, what you saying, Chris?
we'll just keep going.
Just keep going.
You know, there's a lot. It's visually quite disturbing. There's a lot of sort of great special effects with people getting frostbite. You know, folks' hands sticking to poles and they have to like, rip them off and stuff like that.
Cool.
There's a guy that jumps down and you see him breaking his legs and then he gets eaten by wolves and stuff like that. So it's good, but it's exciting and it comes to quite a good conclusion in the end. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty well acted with the likes of Sean Ashmore and that in it. You know, they do a good job, but it's.
That's cool, man.
I would definitely recommend it. You can get it in the likes if you rent it on. Well,
Keep going. No, keep going.
I was just saying you can rent it on the likes of Amazon Prime, but you know, it's a good sort of wee Saturday night horror if you're after it.
That's cool, man. It is one that I've seen people talk about. It's kind of like a kind of sleeper hit. I think it kind of came out and like no one really seen it, and it was kind
Aye.
of under the radar. And then like folk watched it, and I'm like, this is actually good. It's
It knows
One-
what it is and it knows what its sort of
Yeah.
limitations are, and they work within that really well. So
it's cool. It's like I know I've seen this, but it's been a hell of a long time. But that movie ATM, and it's all set like in the ATM, like vestibule
yeah, I've
thing.
not seen that.
It's the same kind of idea where it takes like that one location and then like makes it like a horror scenario. But it's one. There's a guy I watch on YouTube called Good Bad Flicks that does a series where like he kind of looks at these movies and like what went into like the making of them and stuff, and like where they came from and stuff like that. Like lesser known movies he does quite a lot, and Frozen's one of them that he does, and it's like really good. Like just learning like why it was made and like how it was made, which is cool because like a lot of the time, especially with horror movies, like they just come out, and because horror movies get pumped out like more than like any other kind of movie. Like sometimes
Yeah.
they just get made and dumped out, and you don't know anything about them, and that's how you end up finding stuff like that's good that you wouldn't expect to find.
Aye.
Like I've mentioned it already like 3 times in this podcast, but Hell House LLC, like we knew nothing about that. It was just on Prime, and we put it on.
Yeah,
and it's
and
like
we
one of
ended
the,
up getting invested in its whole trilogy.
it's like one of the best horror films I've ever seen. Like in my opinion, it's like one of my favourite horror films.
Aye, it's great.
And like, so it's cool that like stuff like that can happen and still happens even now. Like, aye.
Oh, I do have one more film. Sorry.
I go on.
I watched Rare Exports.
Oh yeah, like the Christmas horror movie.
Have you seen it?
No, I've heard about it. That's another movie that Good Bad Flicks talked about. But I've always wanted to see
Is
it,
it?
but it's not been on anything that I've managed to like watch it on.
It's on it. I got put on Amazon Prime about 2 weeks ago.
I need to check it out then.
Yeah, it's very good. I'll let Joe's coming back into the room, so
I will just let him get positioned to chat.
you all right?
Hello.
How's it going? I'm
No, it's
really
good.
sorry
No, you're
about
all
that.
right. You're just in time for my last film.
Okay, sorry, you're totally gonna hear me going to the door and all that in that recording.
That's all right.
One of the side effects in recording this in your house in quarantine and also still try to like live life. So apologies.
But
for
like that bit in room 237 where the guy has to go and calm his kids down while recording the narrative.
Aye.
I'm about to talk about a film called Rare Exports. Have you seen or heard of it?
I've never even heard of
Right,
it.
so
No.
it's a horror. It originally starts in American, but most of it is in, I think it's Finnish, or it could be Icelandic.
Alright, okay.
It's about a guy, a sort of multi-millionaire who's digging for something in the hills of, it's either Iceland or Finland, honestly, can't remember. And then he thinks he finds what he's looking for, so he creates this mass explosion in the mountain. And he's got weird rules like keep smiling, keep behaving and stuff like that, and it's alright, that's weird. So it cuts to this family who live quite near the mountain who see the explosion, and they're getting ready for Christmas because Christmas Eve's coming up. The dad and his friends get attacked and they capture Santa Claus. But it's like an evil
Right.
Santa Claus, it's like an evil man and all that, so they believe that they can then sell him to make money because I think they're behind on their debts and their bills and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, this man who's the multi-millionaire is wanting to get him for himself, so they try to sell Santa to this man, and if you're going to watch it, I won't spoil too much for you, but
Aye.
there's a lot of good twists and turns in it, and the kind of last third of the film, the whole story expands and it's more than what you thought, and then the kind of final, or the last kind of final scenes are actually quite epic for a film of its size, and then it's got a really sort of funny and bizarre ending, and it's definitely one of these hidden gems. You know, I was really surprised with it, but I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
Amazon
Where can I
Prime
watch that?
put up a couple of weeks ago.
Awesome.
So is that you? Is that you to finish
Yeah,
that's
talking
me.
about your movies?
That's
Right,
my
I guess
weird movies for the week.
Right, I'll.
Someone in my block of flats is currently blasting Bruce Springsteen as well, so you might hear
will.
that. It's great.
Yeah, so I didn't watch it. I didn't watch a ton of movies just because I didn't want to burn myself out. But what I did watch was a good mix, I think. The first movie I watched, which was on Shudder, was One Cut of the Dead, which is a Japanese movie, I think.
It's Japanese, is it not Indonesian? I don't know.
And it's just like one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Right,
It's a
okay.
zombie movie, kind of. It's hard to talk about because I don't want to spoil it, but like it's just so weird. So what I will say is it's a comedy movie, but when you start watching it, you don't know that. So don't go in expecting a horror movie because it's not a horror movie. It starts off, so the first the first 40 minutes of this movie is a found footage zombie movie.
Yep.
That is about a film crew making a zombie movie that then get attacked by real zombies. And then 40 minutes in, it turns into something totally different. And it's still good, but it's the most bizarre change of pace I've ever seen in a movie in my entire life. It just becomes...
Where can we watch this?
If you've got that.
Do you want to give us this for homework?
Yeah, I'm probably going to watch this today, actually.
Right,
it's just it's so weird, man. And it's got a weird... It went up on Amazon Prime, not long after it came out, but it went up illegally. Someone downloaded it illegally and then uploaded it, claiming it was their own movie and stuff. And it was so weird because you can. I didn't know this, but you can literally upload anything to Amazon Prime for folk to watch. Yeah,
can you?
No, upload this? There's a very funny story about that. When I was sitting in the girlfriend's house, and me and her sister and her sister's boyfriend were looking for shark films, and I cannot remember the name of this shark film, but it was 5 minutes long, and it was basically this dad and his son had made this film with a cardboard cutout of a shark eating folk, and it was absolutely hilarious. It's only 5 minutes long, but we were in fits of laughter.
But I
always wondered why it got on there, but that makes sense now.
Basically someone torrented it and then uploaded it and was like, yes, it's mine, and it's not at all. But it's on Shudder. Definitely check it out, and then maybe we can talk about it with less of a restraint on spoilers next time, because it's definitely something.
Yeah, totally. I'll watch that for the next episode.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab my phone quickly because I wrote stuff down. But the next movie that I watched was Blumhouse's Truth or Dare.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
Which I was not a great fan of.
Oh no!
It is what it is. Blumhouse put out their fair share of crap so that they can fund the good stuff.
They can make money, aye.
So they can fund stuff like Truth or
I
Dare.
watched
I know.
the uncut, unrated version of Truth or Dare that's on Netflix.
I
God
see.
knows what the theatrical cut was, because nothing happened. That was I don't know, man. So if you've not seen it, well done. And also, here's the plot. A bunch of kids get wrapped into this game of Truth or Dare, but it's real, and you have to keep playing. It makes you die. That's the movie. All the characters suck.
I liked it. It's not it's not even that bad. I genuinely
the
enjoyed
characters
it.
are all terrible people, which I understand why they do that in horror movies, so you can watch them die. But the character that is the worst person doesn't die, and it made me really angry. Parts of it, it's a cool idea, and obviously it was a PG-13 movie so that they could make tons of money off it because kids will go see it. I get the whole idea behind that. I honestly totally fair enough. But I just it was dumb, and parts of it were fun. I hated the ending. I just hated it so much. But it's one of those movies that it's kind of inoffensive, and I think that makes it worse in a way. It wasn't really good and it wasn't really bad. It just sat somewhere in the middle, so it makes it kind of hard to care about anything that happens in it. I like being passionate about movies, but a movie that can't elicit that out of you, just why does it exist?
Aye.
I don't know, man. It just and it had potential as well. That's what annoys me about a lot of horror movies, is they have such good potential, and then they just fart out a script that somebody could have wrote in an afternoon, man. It's brutal. But I mean, that being said, I watched the whole thing, so and I laughed at it. Maybe when I wasn't meant to.
There you go. So
Maybe when I
you're
wasn't
the
meant to
problem.
laugh at it, but if you want to see some terrible people die, do it. Watch it. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst horror movie I've seen.
Keep talking about back 2 seconds.
It wasn't the best. No worries. I know that you quite liked it, Joe.
I liked it for all the reasons you're saying you didn't like it.
No, that's fair enough. I totally get that.
You know what I mean? Like, it's an offensive good fun. And the face that they do when they're possessed looks like Fabricio Verdum, the old UFC heavyweight champion. That was fun. So
even like the jump scares, like I usually am quite like I'll jump at anything, but like it just didn't. I don't know why. It just.
Aye, but I think if you're not enjoying a movie, you can kind of mentally check out as well. And with a horror, you're not engaged in it. You're not going to be scared of it regardless of what's in the screen.
It just told the line for me where like it wasn't good enough for me to enjoy it unironically, and it wasn't bad enough for me to enjoy it because of how bad it was. So I was just kind of like, where's this going?
Yeah.
Which is a shame. Like if it had been any of the other ways, I would have been like suggesting people watch it, but I'm not because of that.
Yeah. I wish I could monitor my iPad just now to hear the music that's going on downstairs, because they're having a real good time listening to Neil Diamond or something.
On your mic, so hopefully
that's reassuring. It's not coming up on like the wave on the, because I'm just recording in voice memos, so it should be fine. But it's all happening, man. People coming to the door, try to record. We spoke about this. Are we on to
no,
our
I've still
movie
got
of
a
the
few
week?
more to talk about. I was going to wait till Chris was back though.
Okay. Yeah, no what? We'd been throwing about the idea of like building a wee podcast studio in my flat and getting some equipment and doing it for realsies, and then we can like film us recording it and stuff like that, and it would be pretty straightforward given our backgrounds, so to speak. Certainly the plan.
I bought is certainly a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It sounds pretty bang on for what it is.
Yeah,
so
cool.
It's a Behringer.
What mic is it?
C1U.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it for 30 quid at a CEX. So
yes, did it have like the NWO?
No, but
like logo
when I opened the box, it wasn't Anthrax. It was just onion and Monster Energy drink. Just sprayed in my face. Right, I'll talk about. I'm going to quickly fire through some TV shows I've been watching that I want to suggest. I've not watched all of these, like all the episodes of these series, but they're really good.
Aye, we're all craving
Netflix,
content though, so like it's all good.
The first episode of a show called Middleditch and Schwartz. It's so basically there's 3 episodes, and every episode is an hour-long stand-up show, but the entire stand-up show is improvised. It's like an improv comedy show. So they film it it's a live show that they do in front of an audience, and they film it. It's Ben Schwartz, who you might know from Sonic in the Sonic movie, and he was in Parks and Rec and a bunch of other stuff.
He is part of BB-8's voice, I think.
Bill Hader.
I think it's him and Bill Hader put together, is it not?
And what's his middle name? What's his first name? I don't remember. Middleditch. Anyway, Tom Middleditch. I don't know. He's in Silicon Valley. He's like the main character in that, and he's in a bunch of other stuff. It's maybe not as popular over here, but it's like they go out and they question like an audience member about their life, and then they take from that and turn it into like basically an hour-long improv comedy sketch. Really funny. If that's your kind of thing, it's just cool to see them make up the entire thing on the spot and just do what they want with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that out if that's your kind of, if you like stand-up comedy and stuff like that. That's a good one. Second one is The Midnight Gospel, which is a new Netflix adult. Yeah,
is that
it's
Duncan
like an adult
Trussell's
animated cartoon from Duncan Trussell and Pendleton Ward, who's the creator of Adventure Time, which is like a insanely popular cartoon. So this is like his this is like the first thing he's done since that. Basically, like what it seems like is like there's Duncan Trussell plays the main character, and it sounds like again he basically records a podcast with someone, questioning them about like the kind of stuff Duncan Trussell questions folk about, like going on ayahuasca trips and all that mental stuff, like talking to like doctors about all this like mental stuff.
Yeah.
And then they sort of splice in little like story beats that they've obviously like discussed before, and then they take that audio and then like animate to it and like create like a story out of it. So like the main plot is that like Duncan Trussell's character has this machine where he puts like his head in and he travels to like alternate worlds and interviews folk for like his space podcast.
Right, okay.
And then like those people are like real, it's like doctors and stuff like that. But the animation is like insane. It's like so trippy, man. Like just exactly what you would expect from
it looks
those
crazy.
guys. Like it's so hard to explain. Like you need to watch an episode. But I just found myself like I didn't even know in a good way. I was like, what's happening here, man? Like it's just I don't think there's much like it. Like it's mental. If you're into like adult animation, like Rick and Morty and all that kind of stuff, like it's definitely one to check out.
Cool.
Just let me double check what else I've got going on. So like the kind of last one I'll talk about TV show wise, which I think we've all watched. I know at least me. I think we've all watched it. Is Prop Culture on Disney Plus.
I've not watched it
That's
yet.
great, man.
It's on my list.
So it's basically just a guy who's like a kind of collects props from movies and stuff. Does it with Disney. Every episode is a different movie. The first episode, which is the only one I've watched, is Mary Poppins. So he hunts down props from the movie, and then like kind of meets up with cast members and people who worked on the movie and like interviews them and then like shows them the props and stuff. And you just get to see like you learn a little bit about how the movie was made, about what it was like working on it and stuff like that. Mary Poppins is interesting because it's obviously like from when Walt Disney was still alive and stuff, and you get to see what people thought of him, and all that kind of stuff. So that's cool. Just if you like knowing about how movies were made and stuff like that, like it's the kind of thing you should watch.
Yeah, I watched the first two. I watched the Tron one as well. It's really cool.
I need to check out more. I just
I know. I'm looking forward to watching it.
I watched it one night before I went to bed, and then just like haven't watched any more. But it was really cool. I'm excited to watch more.
It turns out how they made that movie is completely mental.
The stuff they did with Tron is insane, like beyond insane. Yeah, check it out. And then I've only got one more movie to watch before we talk about our movie of the week, and that was Booksmart, which is on Amazon Prime. It is directed by Olivia Wilde, and it's basically kind of it's a high school kind of party movie, but like for the modern age, for the woke kids.
Cool. I'm gonna watch this for sure. So
two girls who are like spent all of their time at school like focusing on school and like so they can get into good colleges, and they get into the good colleges, but then they find out that like the kids that partied and had a good time also get into good colleges. So they like freak out and decide that like the night before graduation they have to like fit in like a full like year's worth of partying in like the one night.
Of course.
And it's like them trying to get to this like graduation party, kind of big sort of Superbad vibes from it, which is fitting because one of the main characters is Jonah Hill's younger sister. Yeah, it's good, man. It's funny. Didn't really think it picked up much until it got to the actual party at the end. like not the end of the movie, but like the goal is them getting to the party. Once they get to the party, it really like I was like, oh, I get this movie now when it got there. But it's cool,
Yeah.
man. Like it's got a good cast of like believable kids, which I think kind of helps it a lot. Like it's just like you're like one of those movies where like you watch it and you're like, oh, like there was a kid like that at school when we went to school, kind of thing. As opposed to like
Right.
there's the jock and there's
Yeah.
the blah blah blah. Like it's not like it's cool. Yeah, definitely check it out. It's good. It's funny.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's what I watched.
Brilliant.
So we should
Good
probably move
stuff.
on to our movie of the week and start talking about that.
Yeah, cool. I'm probably going to start running low on battery pretty sharpish,
Cool.
as is the way.
Let's
So.
let's crack on then.
Yeah, I'm at 30% on the old phone.
Right, let's get cracking then. So our movie of the week is Netflix original movie Extraction.
It is. And oh boy,
Yeah, I really like this movie. Yeah.
amazing, isn't it?
So written by Joe and Anthony Russo, who did a bunch of the Marvel movies. And it's adapted from a graphic novel.
Yeah, I didn't know that until after I saw it.
Yeah, and it starring Chris Hemsworth, obviously. Also, there's the Marvel connection there. And I think like they all sort of like produced it and stuff, so it seems like something they must have wanted to get made.
The director is the stunt coordinator on
That's
Endgame.
cool. That makes sense then. Yeah. The quick rundown of the plot. The
Yeah, this will be all spoilers. So
a young boy, whose dad is like a kind of crime lord, gets kidnapped by the rival crime lord, and they hire Chris Hemsworth to like he's like a mercenary, and they hire him to like get the kid back basically. But like Chris Hemsworth's like damaged and broken because like his kid died, and like his wife left him, so it's like he's like a tortured soul. Yeah.
it's a mercenary with a heart.
And then just basically like it's an action scene for like the rest of the movie, which is in like a totally good way.
Pretty
It's
much,
like kind of it gave me kind of like John Wick vibes.
Aye, it's John Wick meets
aye.
Call of Duty.
I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty Warzone, and like a big parts of it like reminded me of that. Like it gave me the same vibe as like playing that game.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
I've got some notes here. It's got like a contrast of being a really like human story
Yeah.
and crazy action at the same time. The visuals are really striking from when he dives into like the
Aye.
water at the start and like sits cross-legged at the bottom. Like the fighting is done up for Hollywood to be dramatic, but also there's like bits where he's grappling with people and they're straight up like doing grappling holds and stuff. And, like, keeps it sort of grounded in reality despite how outlandish the action gets at points. And I've got just in
Aye.
quotes that scene
Yeah, that
So-
was
that everyone's talking about.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, so like probably like about halfway into the movie, there's an 11.5 minute long, like one take action scene that goes from being like a fight scene to a car chase to like an on foot chase to another fight scene to another car chase, and it's total
Yeah,
madness.
and it's incredible.
The amount of like choreography that must have been involved, you can see when you watch it where they've hidden cuts in the edit,
Yeah,
but it's so complicated and impressive that like it doesn't matter. Like regardless of
It's
where
really smooth.
they've had
It's
to
a-
cut that, the amount of effort that must have been put in regardless is like insane.
it's a ridiculously immersive scene. I mean, you're totally sucked into it. And if you want to sit back and look for cuts and all that, then you probably can, and that's up to you. But at the same time, you could just totally get totally absorbed into the whole scene. I actually watched the scene twice to do that because it's brilliant. I mean, it is breathtaking, the action as well. And I don't really say that I enjoy action films, but I don't really describe them as breathtaking. But I mean, I just thought that was absolutely terrific. And it's, original ways of, killing soldiers and even like reloading guns on like the side of his jacket and all this kind of stuff. Like, it was great.
Yeah, it's really stylish.
Yeah, it is.
And they're already working the
You can
sequel.
tell, like,
so
when you say like the guy that was like the stunt coordinator did it, like it does remind me of like, see, like a lot of it reminded me of like the fighting, and that reminded me of the stuff in Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was literally going to say that, where they had
and, like,
GSP in
the
it.
bit and like the
Aye.
the elevator and stuff like that. Like, it reminded me of that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
turned up to like 11. Like, it's absolute madness, man. Like, I really liked the guy who. So basically, like, they rip off Chris Hemsworth and like don't want to pay him the money to extract him, so they send in like another guy to steal the kid off Chris Hemsworth. I really liked that guy. He was good. They kind of like humanize him. Like, he's not really like a bad guy. He's not really a good guy. They kind of it's yeah.
It's the same with everyone in the movie, except the guy that throws that kid off a roof. It's messed up.
Yeah, man, I really liked everything about it. There wasn't really like anything. I was like, I thought some of the CGI was a bit patchy at times, but like it was like
the smoke and the bombs and stuff. But...
a lot of it was like practical, enhanced by CG. Well, like, they probably could have just left it practical.
Yeah.
But like, it obviously turns it up. A lot of folk are kind of giving it flack for like the colour grading, because like everything's yellow in it. But
I can't say I even noticed that.
Yeah, but they're in the sun like the full time, so
I think that's what...
I don't know, it wouldn't really be a criticism for me.
People criticise it because a lot of movies that are set in like India and stuff do that, and it's not what it looks like over there. But like, I think people could have missed the point of colour grading. Like, there's a reason behind it and stuff. And like, I think it's basically just that like it's meant to kind of show how hot it is, and how they're like in the sun, and it's like I don't know. I'm not a movie genius, but like, I think that's the whole point.
It's amazing. You should totally watch it.
There was a lot of good detail in the film as well. Like, I watched this. I mean, this was a couple of years ago. This kind of 10-minute YouTube video about what a gun with a silencer on it actually sounds like, and it's not quiet. It's still quite loud, but it's more kind of whistly. And I thought the kind of Foley work they done for the guns in this was pretty realistic to that, in comparison to maybe the likes of a spy thriller or something like that you would watch. The guns were still pretty loud. So I thought it was quite immersive in that, with all the kind of details they had for it.
Yeah, you can tell it's been extremely lovingly made.
And you can tell completely that it was made by like stuntmen, basically.
Yeah.
Me and Chris watched this series on YouTube done by like Corridor Digital, and it's called like Stuntmen React, or they do like VFX artists react to like scenes from movies and stuff. And like, from watching those, you can like basically tell that like it has all the stuff that like stuntmen love in it. Like, all the stuff they point out in other movies that are like, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's in this movie. Like, it's just, it doesn't stop. Like, it just gets going and like does not stop until like it ends.
Yeah,
it's
relentless,
amazing, man. Like, it just, the amount of sheer like like, it just, you're just like watching it and you're like, is this gonna there's like maybe like
slow down
2 or 3 times in the movie where like it slows down, and it's like you need it to do before it starts again. And you're like, oh my god. I loved the kind of, I didn't know David Harbour was in it, and like, he shows up and I really like him in it.
He's
like,
great,
that guy just looks like he's not even like built or like jacked really. He just kind of looks like he could kill you with his hands. Like, I don't know what it is, man. Like, even in like season 3 of Stranger Things, where like they kind of have him be like a bit chubbier in that, like, he just looks like he would murder you. and like I think it's cool, man. Like I like the fact that he's like kind of older as well. He's just like kind of. It's
Yeah.
like if Liam Neeson was Jack and also not racist.
I don't have much else to say about it. I'm just think
like
it's amazing.
it's hard to kind of. I think it's hard to talk about it when you don't know a lot about how that movie was made, stunt wise and stuff. But like,
Aye.
if you like action movies, this is probably one of the
me.
best ones that's came out. This and the three John Wick movies are like probably
It's
some of the best ones
definitely
out there right now.
on par
Yeah.
with them, definitely.
Aye, like
Again, it's just it totally hooks you in. I mean, it's not one of these films where you find yourself going on your phone every 10 minutes. I mean, we did, but that's because we were actually talking
Yeah,
about the film.
100%.
But,
the only time
apart from that, I was totally hooked.
the only time I was on my phone watching it was to like message you about the one take scene. Like
Aye.
like the rest of the movie, I was just sat
Yeah.
watching it. It's so good, man. And like, see, even if it hadn't been, a sequel hadn't been announced, the endings like left kind of ambiguous, so that like you don't
I like
you
that.
don't know, basically like, no restraint on spoilers. Here we go. They kind of imply that Chris Hemsworth's character dies at the end, and that kind of seems to be where like the movie's leading from the very start.
It's almost like a foreshadow, that first
Aye.
scene where he jumps in
Yeah.
the water.
And even like the
Yeah, but then you sort of see a silhouette at the end
Aye.
that might be him,
Aye,
but might
like,
not
it
be
might
him.
be
and-
like just the kid is like envisioning it, or it might be I read like an article
Yeah.
about like the Russo brothers talking about it and how they wanted to leave it ambiguous, and basically like they said that like the way they thought of it was that like he'd sorry, my throat's quite sore. That he was basically like it was a vision, like he was seeing him because he'd like I don't know, like he'd survived that, and like now he was brave and he was like honouring him by like seeing him there, kind of watching over him. Or
Yeah.
they'd like, or
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you want to view it as like he had survived and had like went into hiding or whatever, like that's how you could view it, which is cool.
The thing
It's
that
also, like-
the thing with his sort of like apparent death at the end actually was also the conclusion to a sort of sub-character story when he was, trying to impress the not mafia boss, but I don't know, what would you call that guy, the sort of gang leader. Remember he was to cut his fingers off if
Yeah, yeah.
to
Oh,
show
yeah,
his
like the
sort
kid.
of and he's the one that finally gets the final shot at him in the end. So it's sort of, it does well of concluding a lot of stories.
It'll be cool. It'll be cool if they,
Yeah,
if
it's
they kind of
great,
do a
man.
jump in the sequel and like that kid is now like the crime boss or whatever. Like he's the bad guy of the next one. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It's also it's like Netflix most streamed movie now.
Is it?
I know, which I
That's
think might have
fast.
overtook
Jeez.
maybe like Bird Box or something like that. But like I think it's like Netflix's most popular movie right now, which is mental. Yeah, it's cool. I know.
Great. Quite rightly so.
It's cool, man, because obviously like a lot of action movies get put out. It's the same when you're away. Joe, me and Chris were talking about it horror wise. Like so many horror movies get put out that like you don't even know about ones that come out and stuff like that. Like you don't hear about them. And action's probably like the second closest to that. Like
Yeah.
straight to DVD wise and stuff like that. They just like they push them out, man. And so like when one comes out that's
Yeah.
like really, really, really outstanding. Like it's cool, man. Like it's cool to see that. Yeah.
It's really refreshing.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm about good
that's
to check out
pretty
here.
much all I have to say about it.
My neighbours are really getting after it with the old music, so I'm really hoping you can't hear it on this mic. If you can, I can only apologise. There's not.
Yeah.
There's only so much
Hopefully,
we can
hopefully
do at
if
the moment.
if it does, hopefully it's quiet enough that like noise reduction will get rid of it.
Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah, bit of editing and stuff. And
Okay.
Right,
Awesome.
Sorted. Thanks very much.
well, cheers, guys.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. If you listened this far, well done.
I know.
Well, we'll be back to talk about.
We'll be
more
back.
movies.
We've
Yep.
got some cool stuff
Absolutely.
coming up.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Stay home, please. Yep.
Drink water.
Call your parents. Right. Thanks, guys. See ya.